Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include presentation to Hubert Strickland, Community Youth Network ribbon cutting ceremony, Cops for Cancer. These stories plus community events, the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack, and more coming up after this.
Come for a good time and we'll sweep you off your feet with jigs and reels and festivals and the world's most friendly folk. Dance your cares away at the Telegru Soiree. Imagine that.
On Saturday, June the 23rd, Master Masons honored one of Burgio's own. Master Masons from various areas around Newfoundland gathered at the LOL Lodge to present Mr. Hubert Strickland with this 50-year jewel and certificate. This was an historical occasion for the Lodge. It's the first time that Master Masons ever held a meeting there, and Mr. Strickland was the first ever to be presented with a 50-year jewel at the Lodge. The celebrations began with the Lodge meeting and a parade to the town square. Then the celebrations continued with a hot roast beef supper catered to by the LOA Entertainment Committee. MC for the afternoon, John Dolomant, welcomed everyone. Jim Andrews said grace, and everyone toasted the Queen. After the meal, MC Mr. Dolomant gave a little information about Freemasonry. Then it was the introductions of the guests, some of which are very familiar to some of residents of Burgeo. For example, Gordon Moulton and Doug Knoll. Next on the agenda, Mr. Strickland and Master of the Can-Am Lodge Stephenville, Robert Clark, cut the cake. Finally, the most important part of the afternoon arrived, the presentation of the award.
This brings us to the most important part of the evening. Now I know that for those of us that were upstairs earlier, we did make an official presentation of the 50-year jewel and a certificate to Brother Hubert Strickland earlier, but I thought it only appropriate probably for those guests that weren't in the lodge that we would probably just simply go through the presentation ceremony again, and also for the benefit of the camera that we have with us now. So having said that, I will call upon Brother Parsons, Joe Parsons, if you would present Brother Strickland with his 50-year jewel, please. You want to run, sir?
Right. For those who were not present when I had the opportunity and the pleasure, distinct pleasure I may add, of presenting Brother Hubert Strickland with his 50-year jewel, this is a very important day in the history of Brother Strickland to receive a 50-year jewel commemorating his dedication to Freemasonry. He is a member of Sussex Lodge number 6 under the Grand Jurisdiction of Nova Scotia, and on behalf of the Grand Lodge of Newfoundland and Labrador, sir, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to be able to present you with this 50-year jewel to mark this occasion in your Masonic history. And I wish for you many years of health and happiness. May God bless you.
Accompanying the jewel is also a certificate that's issued by the Grand Lodge of Nova Scotia. And it gives me a distinct pleasure at this time, of course, to present this certificate to Brother Hubert Strickland. And I'm just simply going to read from the information of the guest present. And it's a certificate presented to Brother Hubert Strickland in recognition of 50 years or more in Masonry and his service to the Grand Lodge of Nova Scotia, AF and AM. And by the way, those of you that are not familiar, that means Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons. Issued under the seal of the Grand Lodge of this date of January 11, 2001, and it bears the signature, of course, of the Grand Master and the Grand Secretary. And as I said earlier, Brother Strickland, it is my distinct pleasure, sir, to be able to present that certificate to you. As all the Masons know now, that we go back a long time. I think I was probably about 10, I don't know, about 2 days old maybe, or maybe even less when he took me in his arm for the first time. So that's kind of the route we have. His wife and my mother were very, very close friends, and she was there when I was not when I was conceived.
Congratulations and greetings were given on behalf of a number of groups, including Deputy Mayor Billard for the town of Burgeo, John Savory for the LOL Lodge, Art Parsons for the RBP Lodge, Gordon Moulton, Robert Clark of Stephenville, Oliver White for the Grand Chapter Royal Black Mason, and Joe Parsons for the Grand Lodge of Newfoundland and Labrador. The afternoon concluded with thanks to the town of Burgeo, Foodland for their welcoming sign, and Burgeo Broadcasting. Also, a toast was made to the poor and distressed Masons. On behalf of the residents of Burgeo, we wish to congratulate Mr. Hubert Strickland on receiving his 50-year jewel from the Royal Sussex Lodge at Halifax. On Monday of this week, we were invited to a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the school. MC and Community Youth Network member Dana Pink welcomed everyone. MHA Calvin Parsons and Deputy Mayor Harvey Billard were present. Mary Goss, coordinator, told a little about the Community Youth Network.
We've been kind of coming up with names for CYN, and CYN is very new. It's kind of in its infancy stage, so it's so exciting to be on the ground when things are getting started, and it's so nice to be engaged with young people from across the whole of southwestern Newfoundland to make this possible. We've said, and we've agreed to at this central meeting that we're now holding, in addition to this ribbon cutting ceremony, that the Community Youth Network is a youth-focused, intergenerational organization working to create healthier communities for all its citizens. And we do this by providing opportunities for young people 12 to 18, to become engaged in learning experiences, employment opportunities are created, and we're building communities, especially through our volunteer organizations and our commitment to volunteer. And we're also making sure that support services are available in communities so that young people who need those services can become connected to them. We work a lot with other government departments to ensure that the resources that are available are made known to our younger citizens. We're especially thankful for our provincial sponsors. We've been doing this work through the Community Education Network for a long time, but now that we have real funding that allows us to hire staff and promote our programs for the next 3 years, so effective April 1 of 2001 to 2004, I mean, we're in business. So we're so excited about that. And our provincial sponsors started off with the Department of Health and Community Services, and now we're forming a new partnership with the Provincial Department of Youth Services and Post-Secondary Education. And both of these government departments will also work in partnership. One will manage our money, and one will manage our programming. So that's kind of a unique partnership there that we're just thrilled about. I can't say enough also about our sponsor, the Community Education Network, and Beverly Kirby, our director, and Peter Doyle, the former chair for the Community Education Network, because clearly when Minister Grimes announced that southwestern Newfoundland was going to be a site, it was based upon, and it was clearly stated in the press release, based upon the 10 years of work that had already been done. So it was an acknowledgement that the work that had been done was really focused at social building in the community, and the work was valued, appreciated, not only in our province, but nationally and even now internationally, the recognition is given. Some of you may know Beverly Kirby, the director of the Community Education Network, was recently honored nationally by receiving the award for Community Educator of the Year, which is a very prestigious award, and again, acknowledging the work that she has done in building CEN, and now making sure that CYN is sponsored and has grown in the true spirit of social and economic development in this province. So we're just really thrilled to be part of that. So I just want to say thank you for coming out today. It's a thrill to be down here, hosted by Burgeo and Group Valerie. Especially a thank you to you for doing a lovely job of coordinating all this and getting us all together on this holiday weekend. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Our MHA, Calvin Parsons, congratulated everyone involved with the program. Then it was time for the ribbon cutting ceremony.
I hereby declare that the Community Youth Network is
Julia Benoit, along with visiting members of the Community Youth Network, cut the cake, which was then served along with the lunch. We congratulate the Community Youth Network on their official opening. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
There's gannets and puffins, kittiwakes and murres, guillemots, petrels and owls. And you can see where the eagle has landed. Imagine that.
The Cops for Cancer campaign is fast approaching. As you are aware, this campaign is a fundraiser for the Canadian Cancer Society, sponsored by the RCMP. Last year it was a great success and was organized in less than a week and raised approximately $1,300. This year the event will take place at the Sandbanks Park during the Sand and Sea Festival on Sunday, July the 29th. To date, there are 7 individuals that are willing to take part and get their id shaved. It is going to be a very special day. Kira Chubb, a young lady who is currently undergoing cancer treatment, is planning to attend if possible, and she will be celebrating her 14th birthday. So please plan to attend to help make the day very special for this young lady. There are pledge sheets in most of the businesses around town. If you haven't made a pledge to this very worthwhile cause, please consider making one. Just about all of us has lost someone to this terrible disease. We all certainly know of someone who has died, or we know someone who is a cancer survivor. If we all work together, we can beat this dreaded disease. This summer, the Anglican Church will once again host a Vacation Bible Experience. The theme of this year's Vacation Bible Experience is Beach Trick. Everything involves a beach. This exciting week is for everyone between the ages of 3 and 12. It begins on August the 6th and continues through August the 10th. Sessions run from 9 a.m. to 12 noon each day. You are sure to have a great time singing, doing crafts, playing games, and more. If you would like to attend, please call Anna at 886-2158, Linda at 2802, Marie at 2837, or contact the parish office at 886-2591 from July the 2nd to July the 14th. As with previous years, the children will really enjoy themselves. Plan to attend Beach Trick for a whale of a time. Stay with us for Off the Rack, the community events, and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
It's a land with over 10,000 miles of coastline, thousands of inlets, coves, guts, and bays. A land that lives by the sea. No wonder our dogs have webbed feet. Imagine that.
Off the Rack. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of the Canada Day celebrations. Let's look back to July the 7th, 1996. BBS Playbill. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing Odd Job Squad TV Bingo. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night and God bless.